Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 5 of my tutorial series for Dwarf Fortress. In this one I want to talk about the actual funding of a city, if you want to say so. We're going to set up bedrooms, a couple of social rooms, a dining hall, temples, and everything in between in this episode, because when you have your population together, they're going to be a lot happier when you give them a proper accommodation to live in. We have set up the preliminaries here quite well. This industry here will run without us needing to take too much notice. In a future episode, I will go into advanced topics of the food industry again, especially when your fortress is grown to a bigger number of people. So, first up, where do you want to build your actual city? I do like to build my bedrooms and the like in the vicinity of my workshops. So here I'm digging now a 4 tiles wide shaft downstairs. I'm digging that 2 levels deep. I'll leave that level here blank because experience has shown it just pays off to have a layer in between where you just keep it up for later. If you have a good idea or anything, you will be grateful for that, because space in this game is available like hell. You have so much room available everywhere. You don't need to worry about that. You have so many elevation levels that you can work with, and each of them is filling the entire map. So the earlier you get into a feeling that these height levels are a tool to play with, the better, because it will enhance the scale of your fortresses by a lot. So we're leaving that empty, and into this direction I'm gonna go now with a long corridor, and this direction I'll leave open for further workshops to come, because we can't leave both things available at the same time. So another corridor goes here, and now I start excavating little cavities like these. These will be our bedrooms. Technically, a dwarf needs a bedroom of, well, 3 tiles. That's pretty much the minimum that you want to go for. You can go as big or as large or as small as you want to, though. I personally am a big fan of these 4 tile wide things. Go crazy in your own designs. There's so many different design options that you can go for. The only important thing that you should be aware of is the fact that at the end of the day, every dwarf wants his own bedroom because they just want to live somewhere. Okay, for this phase of the game, check back with your work orders by pressing O. We have ordered rock doors, but we haven't ordered beds. Beds are mandatory for the construction of bedrooms. So we're going to go over to the carpenter's workshop and order beds in a permanent fashion. So we go on over here, go for the suggested condition that we have always at least 10 of these in store, and I'll change that again to 3 times. It's my standard. You can go for your own ideas, and that'll put up beds for us. So we are going to go now into the smoothing menu, and I'm going to put a smoothing command on these first. So when your dwarf is picking up his bedroom, the entire value of the room is taken into account. And the rule of thumb here is quite simple. The more valuable the room is, the more happy your dwarf will be with that room. Smoothing does, for no money, just for a little bit of work, increase the value of the room automatically, because it's no longer rough stone. It's nice smoothened stone room. So we're going to install now our first door. There we go. And we're going to install afterwards a bed. So this is the bare minimum that you need for a bedroom. If you want to do this in mass fashion, switch on keep building after placement and switch to use closest material, and then you can place as many doors as you have stored at that moment. Same goes with the beds. This setting is totally okay, I think. We don't need to be too selective here. Alright, putting down as many beds as we got, and that's that. So, our friends here will then try and pick up the requested furniture. And as you see here, the smoothened rooms, they look a little bit nicer. You can also go and construct floor made out of... wait a sec. Whoops, that was wrong. You can also construct floor made out of various materials. If you will be using boulders, you will be still increasing the value, but so do rock blocks. You can use basically whatever you want, with the rule applying here as well. The more valuable the material that you use for the flooring, the more valuable the room will be, and the more happy the dwarf will be who's going to live in that room. So it pays off to make these rooms as fancy as possible. So now, after all this has been installed, these are no bedrooms yet. To make them bedrooms, we need to go back into the zone menu. Here we find a bedroom. So here you can now use this tool to paint a bedroom, and it's really important that you include the walls, because the walls are also part of the room, and if you'd be only painting the center tiles here, the dwarf would not take any benefit from the encircling wall. So a bedroom looks like that. So press accept, and voila, you've created your first own bedroom. These will be automatically picked up by a dwarf, but you can also click here and assign them to a certain person, or the other icon, you can also assign them to a certain location, but more about that on another topic. If you don't assign the bedroom to anybody, it will be automatically picked up by somebody here in the fortress, so that will be working out just nicely. So we're going to go and go forward with an easier method. You don't have to paint every room by hand. You can also click multi, and then you just drag and drop over the entirety of the room. Let's click, and as you see here, 4 bedrooms created, and a couple of them were rejected because they weren't enclosed. A bedroom always has to have a door and a bed. If these circumstances are not fulfilled, it can't be declared bedroom. And the multi-tool does check this for the entirety of the square, and now it created these bedrooms for you. And whenever you have to create more of one instance, then it just pays off to make it that way. Okay, so we have created here room for 16 people. That will be totally okay. When we're going to go back upstairs now, our woodworkers will use up the logs for more beds. Make sure that you chop new trees if necessary. And to speed up the process of the bed making, you can also put up a stockpile specifically for wood in the vicinity of your carpenter. Same goes for stone, of course, for your stoneworker or any workshop that consumes some sort of material. Now, this is the basics of bedroom creating. The next topic that I want to tackle are dining rooms. These are the places where your dwarves can go to if they want to eat. For these, we need a little bit of extra furniture. We have doors already, these are all right and dandy, but we need other things too for a dining room. A dining room needs tables and chairs. So when it comes down to tables, we're going to go with the rock ones again. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing about the bedrooms. Beds always have to be made out of wood, so it's an important resource therefore. Back to the dining rooms. Rock tables, I'm gonna order 10 of these at any moment. It never hurts to have a stockpile of these. And the other thing are thrones, i.e. chairs made out of stone. I don't know why it's throne, but whatever. It sounds fancier, I guess. So we're going to go with that configuration here as well, and that makes all the necessary furniture that we require for that. So we're going to dig into that direction now, and I'm going to dig out a room like this. And by the way, if you ever noticed like something like here that your food stockpiles are going low, just go with your planter foraging. In the beginning of the game, it can happen quite easily that you are running low on food stockpiles, and foraging usually does the trick. Okay, so back downstairs to our city to be, as soon as the saving has been. So that room is going to be our dining hall. So we're going to put up the doors there, but sadly no doors are available right now. So I'm gonna be fast forwarding the time here until the things have been prepared for the dining room. Alright, I have put up a secondary stoneworkers workshop to get these things going a little bit faster. You can do that as well if ever you notice that a bottleneck of sorts does come up somewhere. So, doors. You need those for a dining hall, otherwise it won't work. It's for many rooms a preliminary thing. So we're going to put up tables now. Like that. And chairs. What's really important to note when you make a dwarven dining hall, only one chair per table. Dwarves hate to share their table with somebody else. So we're going to cover the caravan on another occasion. So never go for several tables at once. It will only bring you mayhem and problems. So after that's all made, all you need to do is go for the dining hall, and then you do the rectangle thing again. Walls are included, that's very important, and that's all you need for your dwarves to make them go eating there. What's always helpful is to go and create a new stockpile zone somewhere there, just a small one, that is configured here in the food tab for prepared meals. So the prepared meals will be transferred already to the place where people will eat. Makes everything a lot more comfy. To make sure that this actually happens, you go under this designator here, and this area allows us to configure how a stockpile zone is going to behave. So we scroll back upstairs to our kitchen zone. This is where we store our food, and this icon allows us to tell the stockpile to pick up from a certain location. So we're going to tell the stockpile to pick up prepared food from this specific stockpile. And that's that. So over the course of the time, when we have a little bit more food than only something about 20, our dwarves will pick up food and dump it there. And that's all you need to do. So let's dig out another room there. And by the time we're going to fill this room, of course, with more tables and chairs, make them as large or as small as you want to. The most important thing to note is here again, the more valuable and the more beautiful the room, the more happy the dwarfs will be when they dine in there. So it does make sense to consider how to increase the value of that area. So this other room on the other side I'm preparing there will be our first temple. Temples are an extremely inexpensive way of making your dwarves happy, because temples are just really, the only thing they require is they have to have an interior size of 5 on 5 to maintain a dance floor, what it's called, but basically consider it something where a religious celebration can be held, and that's all the requirements a temple has. So to create a temple, you go on here to the meeting area, and then you deploy first a meeting area. A meeting area is a weird zone which can be mutated into all manner of different things. Here you click the plus sign, and in this area you see you can declare it into a tavern, guild hall, library, and temple. So here you get to select what kind of temple you want to create. Every world has a fully fledged set of gods that will be worshipped in your civilization, and every god, as you see, has a different amount of worshippers. The Cyan ones are just the worshipping of the god, and the yellow ones are like the organized religions behind certain gods, considered like the Catholic Church for the Christianity. This is something like that. The first temple I like to go for is always the one god that has the most worshippers, or I check out if somebody's really stupidly unhappy and sometimes they want to pray to a certain god. So here we're going to make this to Memim, the god of music, dance, and festivals, and that's that. You can upgrade the temple, you can assign priests later and whatnot, but when you begin with all that, you don't need to do anything besides that. Your dwarfs have now a place where they can seek for contemplation, and that's a safe spot for them to go. I'll leave it like that for now. I'll be preparing in between the episodes these bedrooms, and I'm going to talk about trading and diplomacy at the beginning of the next episode, because I consider this is a really interesting topic to dedicate a episode towards, to more part of it. Now, I'll exit here, a little bit shorter than the last previous episodes, because I figure we got everything nailed down here. This is the basics of your civilization. We're going to talk about taverns and other buildings inside the city as well, but I'll be putting that up for the next episode when we're going to go for trade and other topics too. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to go over the rest of the city next time. Ask away in the comment section, add in things that I don't know yet, because I always know there's more to learn about this game than I already know, and leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing. I'd be deeply delighted if you'd be also checking out the other playlists for Dwarf Fortress that I have down there, and I hope you have a great day, and see you soon.